Hi everyone, welcome back to Java for All. In the last video about design patterns, we were going to talk about the strategy, but I just remember that we spoke about the strategy pattern when we were talking about polymorphism. So in this video, we are going to talk about a different pattern, one of the enterprise application architecture patterns called data transfer object. It's a very simple pattern that you will probably going to use and see everywhere. So what is the purpose of the data transfer object? As the name implies, every once in a while you will need to transfer data either between systems or, for example, to the front end or any other application. And sometimes this data is not as easy as we have with our entities. So for example, imagine that we are going to have a report. And in this report, I want the aircraft name, I want the country, I want the currency, and I want the person first name. So as you can see, we have 4 different classes that would need 4 different objects, and the final result would be the report with all this data. So if we want to create a method that will create the report accepting 4 arguments, each one of the classes that we have here, that's okay. But in the end, if you need to, you are going to see in future trainings, change this data from just binary to JSON, for example, something that the front end is going to use, then it's ideally we would like to have everything like ready to go. So let's give one example. Imagine that we are going to do the following, the report. So usually you will see like this or like this. I would say the correct way is writing the acronym like this, but the chance that you're going to see like all uppercase is pretty high. So I want this report to have a couple things. So first one, I would like the aircraft name. So I don't need the entire aircraft object. I only need the name. So instead of having the entire object from the aircraft, I just create what I need. Private string and aircraft name, or even aircraft if you want. But since we only have the name, we can have it aircraft name. And then after you have the aircraft, we would like to have the country. So private country, and then currency, private currency, and then the person name. Let me check if we have getters for all of them. Let's create a getter for name here. So alt insert, getter, name. Country we don't need, currency we also don't need, and person I think we do need get first name. And since we know how to work with builder, alt insert, builder, remove with, then inner builder, okay, and here we change to builder. Now let's go and create here a class in the test, data transfer object test01. Now there is nowhere to run. You need all those objects so you can get the data from them. So usually these objects will be coming from a database or coming from another API, or the user is going to input this data. But either way, you have to create the object. So you first create the aircraft. Let's use the 777. And after the aircraft, we want the country. So you can create here country dot Brazil. Introduce local variable. Let's call it country. And then currency, you can use currency factory, new currency, country, and then person. So person, ZZH design patterns, dot person builder, dot first name. Let's just initialize the first and the last name. And then dot build. Use local variable, person. So now that we have all these objects, we just have to create a report DTO. So aircraft name, aircraft.getName, and then country, currency, and person name, person dot get first name, and then build. Introduce local variable out insert, and then you have here report DTO, and you can go to report DTO all the way to the end. You can introduce out insert the chase string, and then you just call here start report DTO. Control Shift F10, and as you can see, we have all the data. Of course, we will need to change the currency here. But as you can see, the purpose of this pattern is basically create a class with all the data exactly like you need. Usually we avoid having objects because like you are not working with composition. It's possible as well, it's not a problem, but usually you have the data exactly like you would like to send. So sometimes you want to send the entire object, then for example here instead of a person name we would have person, and then once we map this to a JSON, for example, you would have the entire person object. But in the end, the pattern is pretty simple, and you are going to probably see and use like everywhere. You don't use this pattern when you are talking about domain classes. Usually it's something completely different. I can even create something here. Let's create a package called DTO, and let's move this report DTO here, so you will not confuse with domain classes. Cool. So for design patterns, that's it. In the next video, we're going to start talking about JDBC. So we are finally doing some stuff with databases. So see you in the next video. Bye.